to the stage the artistic director of Tossos 2 and an actor currently appearing in the Off-Off-Broadway production of Anti-Mayhem at the Wings Theater, Mr. Mark Finley.
Thank you. Currently appearing, of course, means tonight. I leave right here after this to make a 7:30 call. So, thank you. But that's what this thing we do is all about. Because of Off-Off-Broadway theater, I'm able to be an actor, a playwright, and a director. And Doric is one of the artists that got this whole thing started. So, I'm honored to be here in my 3-inch heels to present this award to my friend and colleague, Doric Wilson. And somehow it's very appropriate. To quote a line from Doric's street theater, "There is a God, and she is a vicious queen." The first play Doric ever wrote was for his English Lit class at Kennewick High School. The critical response, his teacher, Miss Shrives, that master of the modern aesthetic, informed him that no student of hers would ever be able to write anything as complex as a play, whereupon she promptly failed him. Doric received his early training under Lorraine Larson and apprenticed with Dorothy Seeberger and the Richland Players in his home state of Washington, where he studied briefly at the drama department of the University of Washington. In 1959, he moved to New York City and became one of the first resident playwrights at New York City's legendary Cafe Chino. His Now She Dances, a fantasia on the trial of Oscar Wilde, one of the 4 successful Cafe Chino plays Doric wrote, was the first Off-Off-Broadway play to deal positively with gay people in 1961. If a character in a Doric Wilson play is gay, it's merely part of the character, not the reason for that character or for the entire play. This was unheard of at the time and remains a challenge to writers of popular entertainment today. In 1974, Doric Wilson, along with Billy Blackwell, Peter Duval, and John McSpadden, formed Tossos, The Other Side of Silence, the first professional theater company to deal openly and honestly with the gay experience. And the company featured new plays and revivals by such writers as Brendan Behan, Noel Coward, Joe Wharton, Terrence O'Malley, Robert Patrick, Martin Sherman, and Lanford Wilson. When I first met Doric, we talked theater then and now until 4 in the morning. And I walked away from our conversation dazzled, thinking meeting someone like this is a reminder of why someone like me lives in this city. The next day he called me and said he hadn't allowed his plays to be produced in New York since the mid-'80s, but he wanted me to be his director. I was blown away and flattered, but said, "Shouldn't you see some of my work first?" He said it didn't matter, that after talking to me, he knew that I was doing theater for the right reasons. That meant a lot to me then, and it means a lot to me now. In June 2001, Doric, Barry Childs, and I resurrected the company as Tossos 2, garnering critical acclaim and several very appreciated awards. In 2004, Doric Wilson was honored to be one of the Grand Marshals of the 35th Anniversary Pride Day Parade in New York City. I'm proud to be Doric Wilson's friend and honored to bestow him with this award tonight for doing theater for the right reasons.
Doric Wilson, playwright, director, producer, and gay political activist, was born February 24, 1939. He was raised on the Columbia River of eastern Washington state and studied briefly at the drama department of the University of Washington until he was forced to leave after he initiated a one-person protest against anti-gay shootings at a nearby park. Wilson moved to New York City in 1959, where he became one of the first resident playwrights at the legendary Cafe Chino. The success of his 4 Chino plays helped, in the words of playwright Robert Patrick, establish the Chino as a venue for new plays and materially contributed to the then emerging concept of Off-Off-Broadway.
Doric's body of 4 original plays produced at the Cafe Chino, the first Off-Off-Broadway theater, in 1961, established Off-Off-Broadway as a venue where you went to see new plays rather than old ones, and American plays rather than foreign ones.
He was one of the first playwrights invited to join the Barr, Wilder, Albee Playwrights Unit, and later became a founding member of Circle Repertory Theater. He was a participant in all 3 nights of the Stonewall riots in 1969 and became active in the early days of the New York gay liberation movement as a member of GAA, the Gay Activist Alliance.
One of his 4 Chino plays, Now She Dances, takes the trial of Oscar Wilde, turns it into the story of Salome, which Wilde himself had dramatized, of course, puts it in Victorian times, and then off of the modern streets of New York, Cornelia Street, where the Chino was, as it's John the Baptist, it brings on a gay rights protester before there were gay rights protesters. How many innovations is that?
In 1974, Doric Wilson formed Tassos, The Other Side of Silence, the first professional theater company to deal openly and honestly with the gay experience. In June 2001, Wilson and directors Mark Finley and Barry Childs resurrected the company as Tassos 2. The original Tassos and its production of Doric Wilson's play The West Street Gang are featured in Perform, the new permanent exhibit on theater at the Museum of New York City. Doric Wilson's plays from the late 1970s, The West Street Gang, A Perfect Relationship, Forever After, and Street Theater, quickly became staples of the emerging gay theater circuit, widely performed here and abroad. In 1994, he won the first Robert Chesley Award for Lifetime Achievement in Gay Theater.
Out of the closets, you're not proving anything. Into the streets! No! Out of the closet! No way! Into the streets! Together! Out of the closet! 8 seconds are revolting! You bet your sweet ass we are!
Doric Wilson is a pioneer and a visionary who continues to help shape the Off-Off-Broadway community.
For his years of work in Off-Off-Broadway theater and theater. For his years of work in Off-Off-Broadway theater and beyond, on behalf of the New York Innovative Theater Honorary Awards Committee, I am honored to bestow the 2007 Artistic Achievement Award to Doric Wilson.
I came very close to wearing that dress. A little side before I start. In the photographs that went by you, there's a photo of me in the 1972 Gay Pride March with my hand in the air. The short gray-haired lady next to me is a woman who grew up on Wheat Ranch Town in eastern Washington State. Came all the way to New York to march with me. That was my mother. In 1971. While 50 years I've been doing this Off-Off-Broadway, or I prefer to call it alternative theater. 47 years to be precise. 47 years of digging through dumpsters to get a set. 47 years of casting your play from perfect strangers passing by on the sidewalk. 47 years of wishing to have a much larger family or more friends so you could pay for the audience. 47 years of avoiding the wrathful obstruction of actors' equity. Superlative deleted. But that's also 47 years of saying exactly where you want, what you want to say, how you want to say it. It's also 47 years of the excitement of discovery. 47 years of poverty picking your imagination into overdrive, or to invoke Joe Chino, 47 years of making magic out of nothing. If I would start thanking people that helped me get here tonight, we'd be here on next year's awards. So instead, I'd like to acknowledge some people in the audience tonight. Two very early Cappuccino playwrights who helped very much to make what you do happen. Bob Heide is here, and somewhere I think backstage is William Hoffman. Two actors that relate to my plays in the early days. One from the Cappuccino, the first and the handsomest leading man I ever had. Paul Vincent Romeo is here back there. Another actor who's been fiercely loyal, and not to say possessive of a specific role in a specific play of mine for the last 20 plus years, Michael Boom Boom Lynch. You saw that. He was the one drag in a very subtle wig. There's no theater without audience. There, in fact, are three, I think, surviving Off-Off-Broadway early years audience members here tonight. Harvey Donegan, Janet McHugh, Jack Schlegel. They braved some pretty frightening venues back then. The professor tonight that has been very loyal to us, and they are few in number. Martin Denton. Leonard Jacobs, Eric Hogginson, Jonathan Warman, Michael Feingold, and the voice seems to have kind of lost them. I can't really find this now. Also, of course, Nick and Shay and Jason, for which there would be no award. John Stewart and the United States is here tonight, and of course Mark Finley, Barry Childs, and the Tassos people that are here. There are also some very choice ghosts hovering around us. My mentor is Richard Barr, the great Broadway producer. My teacher, Lorraine Larson. A boisterous muse of mine, Billy Blackwell. You saw him briefly in one of the photographs. And of course, the father of us all, Joe Chino. He's up there somewhere. Who I really want to thank and actually acknowledge tonight, the most important person is you. You are the people that make the theater I believe in happen. You make the theater that I spent the last 47 years of my life committed to still exist. So, thank you. There is a certain finality about an award like this. When you receive it, you tend to hear the chip, chip, chip of some stone cutter carving your name and dates on a slab of granite. There's only one way you can keep the Grim Reaper from rummaging around in your icebox looking for a snack, and that's to work. And this award is encouraging. It's encouraged me to probably finish and probably produce this season the first play I've done in about 25 years, so thank you. Finally, and one last. I want to dedicate this award to a ghost I did not mention earlier. A man who was the very epitome of what is style and grace and wit in my beloved borough of Manhattan. The songwriter and my longtime friend, John Wallowich. I accept this invitation. Anyway, please, all of you, go on making theater possible in this most impossible of all cities. Thank you.
So I'm standing here with the beautiful and glamorous Mark Finley.
With the beautiful, glamorous Ellen Riley.
Well, I think tonight you win the award.
Thank you.
Do you always get this dressed up for award shows?
Don't you?
Well, I get this dressed up, huh?
Well, you know, you caught me in the middle of my morning routine.
So, which leg do you start with before you can pantyhose? The left or the right?
Oh my God, I had to learn how to put on pantyhose for this show.
Right.
I had no idea. The director said, oh, my mother taught me how to do that. And I was like, well, my mother didn't think I needed that kind of information, but she didn't know where my career was going. So.
Tonight your career led you to the stage to present an award to Doric Wilson. And so tell me, what was that like?
It was a little scary.
Yeah.
It was a little scary, yeah.
Was it sentimental too?
It was, yeah.
You guys
Doris
have a long history.
was a good friend of mine. I was so glad to be here and be able to do it, be asked to do it. It's really cool.
And I love that you're off to perform the show.
Yeah.
What's
5
the name of
minutes.
the
The show is named Anti Mayhem. We are at the Wings Theater, kind of very Charles. We're at the Wings Theater for a few more performances. So.
Well, I happen to know that we will see you here a lot more in the future because you're an actor, a playwright, a director, general all-around good guy on the theater stage.
Well,
so
thank you.
Thanks. He's directed me many times, so I'm kissing
It's
up.
a pleasure.
Well, thanks for talking to us. Have a great
My
show.
pleasure. Thanks.
Goodbye. Don't
Bye.
trip on your heels.
Okay, I won't.
It's hard.
He overstepped his bounds.
What did he try to put it at?
Am I falling into the same problem? I'm standing here with Doric Wilson, who has just received the Artistic Achievement Award from the United Theaters. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I'm proud enough to say I've worked in his work. We want to ask you one quick question. In general, what came first for you? Way back in the day, not that far back, but what came first? Something that you had to say, or the desire to say it in a theatrical form? Did the activism come
I have
before the
no, I have no idea. It all came at the same time, weirdly enough. Yeah, there was not, I never played games with other kids. I would organize them into shows.
Okay, so you have a theatrical sense.
Yeah, when I was like 10 or 11, every kid in the neighborhood ran like hell with the song because I was an organizer. We didn't play cowboys and Indians, we did stagecoach.
Okay, so you had the theatrical, and then when you had the gay thing, I mean,
well, no, it's
gay
the
as long
gay
as
thing. Yeah, no, but it's not even a gay thing. It was also civil rights.
True.
All of it. I mean, I come from a socialist, active family.
Right, and your mom is very supportive of you.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think then in general? Where do you think we are with the gay movement, gay theater?
Well,
in terms of
we're
theater?
certainly a lot better than we were 10, 20 years ago.
And we hit a rut in gay theater?
It's all apart. It's like it's caught in a rut when you're in the middle of it.
Right.
Just looking back, and you go, oh, isn't it wonderful what you did 20 years ago. I cannot tell you how old it makes you feel.
Out there, he had a standing ovation. He had a whole audience. That's a long time coming.
I couldn't see them.
Yeah, well, we have it on camera. We'll get to it. We'll give him a DVD for free. How does it make you feel?
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
I was nominated. Every play I've ever had has been nominated for an Obie. Or not everywhere, but from the 70s on. And I've never been invited.
So now.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Congratulations, George. We'll talk to you later.